Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Calmsden Farm here in Farming Simulator 22 with me, CWATTY. Yeah, that's right ladies and gentlemen, it's a lovely new day here on the farm. Got the seeding done in the previous episode, obviously. Got our corn seeding done on field 23 after we'd done the wheat harvest. Now, as you will notice, I've done a little bit of mowing off camera. I've mowed a couple of fields and actually done some baling. So I've been making some silage bales. However, I've still got more mowing to do, and that's what I'm going to be getting on with partly in this video. But first, I need to obviously go and make sure I've fertiliser sprayed field 23, so that we've got the, you know, full yield potential of that field. And our corn, which hopefully we get to harvest later in the year. Oh, I've got about 66% fertiliser left. Might just top up from my lovely little tank over here. I haven't fertilised any of the grass fields. I haven't. So that will still be needed to do. I have got the silage bunker emptied. And all the silage is in storage. So we're kind of ready to be filling again. Obviously the silage bales I've done here, they will go into storage too. I just think again, it's as odd as it sounds, as much as I love the loading wagon, I think I can transport more material if it's in bale form than doing it loose with the loading wagon. The loading wagon carries about 30,000 litres, whereas each bale is like 7,500. So I only need like 5 bales, you know, on a trailer, and I've got more than what I could carry if I had it in a loading wagon. So I've done my secret meadows. They've been, as you can see, they've all been baled. But what I'm going to do next, I'm going to do some hay next, on my next 2 fields, and get some more hay, with the long term obviously aim and objective being that we're going to be able to get some cows in our cow pen pretty soon. We'll be able to start filling up and loading up with them. Oh, is this not going to let me do the fertilising now? Yeah, okay then, we scrap that plan, ladies and gents. It won't let me do fertilising. Even though I've done rolling, it doesn't detect it as being a soil change, a ground change. How are my bales doing? They are 28%. Are they? Yeah, 28% fermented. Right, so we're going to do some hay. That means potentially just switching very briefly. I've got to detach the front weight, aren't I, on my Lambo? Put the rake on the front. I'm also going to have to get the tedder. I bought the baler, by the way. I own the baler, hence why I've lost all my money. Why my money's disappeared overnight. Oh, I also bought the conveyor belt as well. That came in quite useful for emptying that silage bunker, because I was basically able to just park it and then keep driving the loading wagon under it. I can drop the front weight there for a minute. And I'm gonna... So this will come in obviously useful when I do the baling of the hay. I am going to need to get the the class is going to do the mowing, and then it's also going to do the tedding for me. Unfortunately, the tedder's parked over here, and he's going to have to come back. So yeah, it's a shame I can't do my fertilising, but I guess I have to wait, unfortunately, until we get growth on that field before it will let me do the fertilising stage. Do, 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 do. Unfold, which on lower. So yeah, this field is the one I bought to replace field, I think, 11. And then I've got the other field further down the road, back towards the main shop as well, which is also mine. No, it seems a bit silly to swath drop when I'm going to come back over this landing a bit with the tedder, but it stops the tedder from throwing the grass all over the place because it keeps it within, you know, an area. So like it won't throw it into the hedges and out of the boundaries of the field. But yeah, we'll get some more hay. Obviously we've got more silage currently fermenting then in the bales. Don't know how many bales I've got, I didn't count, but it should be easy to do the maths in a little while. We'll check the statistics in a little while. I know we had 232 bales the last time I did baling, so we'll just subtract that from the value and that should give us our magic number, shouldn't it? But obviously I can't do this this mowing with the GPS because I'm still playing with my controller fully wired up. However, today I have been and bought myself a battery charger and some rechargeable batteries, so I'll be able to make my controller wireless again very, very soon, which will be great for me, because then I can use all the buttons on the controller again, which means I'll be able to use GPS. I've had to go out this afternoon. I had to go out in real life because I had to go for a blood test at my local surgery this afternoon, so they've gone and taken their pint worth out of me, do all their testing and check that I'm still alive. So I did that, and then I thought, whilst I'm out, I'll kill two birds with one stone. I'll go and get a Mother's Day card from the card shop, which is very close to my doctor's surgery, because obviously it's Mother's Day very soon, at the end of the month, and it saves me another trip if I manage to pick it up today whilst I was out. And right next door to the card shop there's a stationer's, and they sell battery chargers. Who knew? Not only can you buy paper and pens and stuff from a stationer's, but you can also buy batteries and battery chargers. So whilst I was there, I grabbed myself a 4-hour charger with a set of batteries, so I've got 4 rechargeable batteries, so I can have 2 on charge and 2 in the controller, and that should be perfect, shouldn't it? Should be perfect. And then I can get back to playing wirelessly and not being constrained to have to play so close to the computer all the time. It's weird, that. It's very weird that the controller, when, well, like I say, when the controller's plugged into the computer, into my PC, it's detected as a Xbox controller. So all the basic Xbox buttons, Microsoft Xbox controller, it's detected as, you know, Microsoft certified and everything, shows up in the Xbox app on the PC and the Xbox accessories, because it's a proper Xbox, it's a proper Xbox controller, proper Microsoft controller I bought. It's the Pulse Red one, because that seemed to be the cheapest when I was looking for controllers the other day on Amazon. The red one was cheaper than the black one and all the other various different controllers that they do. So I thought, I'm not fussed about the colour, I'll get the cheapest one. So I bought the red one. And like I say, all the basic Xbox buttons work perfectly fine when it's plugged in via cable, and Windows detects it as a Xbox 360 controller or whatever it is, or an Xbox One controller. But then all the additional buttons that are on the controller don't function, don't work. Windows doesn't detect those. Hence why the button that I use for my activate and deactivate GPS doesn't work. If I disconnect the controller from the cable, turn on the Bluetooth and connect the controller to my PC via Bluetooth, Windows detects it as a different type of controller. And then all the extra buttons on the controller are detected. They all are detected as buttons and show up as buttons, and I can program them in the game to whatever functions I want. So GPS activate on and off is on the is the button in the middle of my controller, just below the start and back buttons. And then I've got a couple of other buttons that I can map things to. I don't know why it's different when I plug it in via cable and Bluetooth, why it doesn't show up as the same controller, and why all the buttons don't work when it's connected via cable. Why don't the extra buttons work when it's connected via cable? That's Microsoft for you, ladies and gents. It's why I stay away from Xbox and console stuff normally. I'm going to have all the console players sending me hate now in the comment section of the video. It's the first time like I say, it's the first time in a long time I've used a Xbox controller. Like I say, normally I've always used PlayStation style controllers on PC. It's taken me a bit of a while getting used to the fact the left analog stick's in the wrong place. on the controller. I keep going and pressing the D-pad instead of the analog stick, because I expect the left analog stick to be where the D-pad is. I must admit, the PlayStation controller is the best ergonomic controller out there. Symmetrical thumbsticks, nice compact design, so, you know, it fits in the hands nice and easily because it's quite small. You don't have to reach and stretch for any buttons on it. Everything's all there nice and comfortable. I know some people with large hands reckon it's not very comfortable. They reckon the controller's too small. But for me, because I have smallish hands, I like the PlayStation controller. I find the Xbox one to be a bit big and heavy in comparison. I know people will say, come on, Watty, what are you complaining about? You've got a fucking Thrustmaster TGT wheel in front of you. Why don't you play Farm Sim with the bloody wheel? Then you won't have any of these problems. You'll have more than enough buttons to do whatever you want in the game. You're quite right. I probably should play with the wheel more than I do. The thing that puts me off playing with the wheel is the fact that for whatever reason, with the Thrustmaster TGT wheel, should I say, not TGT2. I don't have the TGT2. I have the original TGT wheel that I got last year for my birthday in April. Subtly dropping a hint as to when my birthday is this year, so everybody can remember to send me their donations and well wishes. But yeah, I've got the TGT wheel, but for whatever reason, don't know why, no force feedback support with it in Farm Sim. The wheel's as light and as lifeless as anything. And people tell me that other wheels, Logitech wheels and stuff, have force feedback in FS22. And I wonder if that's something Giants just haven't added support for my wheel. I don't know whether my wheel is not supported by the game in that sense, and because there's no force feedback on the wheel, it does feel a bit weird when you're trying to play the game, because the steering wheel's far too light. I prefer to have a bit of resistance when I'm playing a driving game. Right, I'm going to just park this well out of the way because I need to come back, obviously, to this field. And I need to do the tedding before I can do any collecting. But what we'll do is we'll go and mow the other field now. So if you aren't familiar, obviously I bought field, whatever it is over here, field 22 over here. The other episode, and we also own field 10 down here. So that's where I'm going to head. I'm also going to clear my horseplay course. I need to do it on the Lambo as well. I've still got a course loaded in the memory of the Lambo from when the worker was doing rolling after I'd done the seeding. So I had the Lambo doing the rolling whilst I was doing the grass mowing and the baling of the other fields. Now, should be able to... now, can I get access field 10 from this road down here? Or do I have to go to the main road? I hope I can access it from down here. That would be rather nice. Oh, did you notice, by the way, I managed to sort out my landscaping back here. I managed to fix that gap. What I did, I took a level from, a ground level from over here. Or was it? No, I took a ground level from over here. And then I just basically leveled the terrain back this way to the same level, which filled in that little gap that was created by this lowering. So as you can see, now the road, it actually dips. The dip is actually now as you go towards the, is like the silo-y bit. It dips about here in this, from like this point down to here, it's now slopes. So that's raised back up. The only trouble with that is I've still got this floating bush. Now, I don't know how to get rid of floating bushes. The only thing I can think of is to do that. Which is great, because that spends money. And then... no, it didn't get rid of the one I wanted it to get rid of. No, not that one. What did I use for that? Gravel dirt, wasn't it? That's what I used. Yeah. Can't get rid of that bush, unfortunately. That must be an object placed within the map. So that bush is going to be floating all the time, forever. It's a shame that. You can't get rid of objects like that. Scout ahead a little bit. See what we're dealing with. Big area. Nice big area. Boom. Drop the mowers. And away we go, ladies and gents. Little field down here, look. I was a little bit annoyed. I'm a little bit annoyed at one thing, though. Field 5 on the map. This big field over here, which had wheat on it, is now harvested. I never saw a contract for that, though. Which means I didn't get to do the harvesting. There was no harvesting contract offered for Field 5, otherwise I would have done it. And because I didn't do the harvesting, look at the mess of the field, look. Look at the mess of that field. Bear with me a sec. Come over here. Oh. The AI hasn't harvested his field properly. He hasn't done the headland. He's left he has left a massive strip of stuff all the way around the field. Whole load of wasted rot there. Whole load of wasted stuff. And if you're wondering why that happens in a map and why that happens in the game, it's because the map author hasn't set the field definitions correctly on that field. He's not gone and actually defined the edges 100% like properly. So the AI will only work up to the defined edges of the field, not the actual edges of the field. And it's a little bit of a shame, because normally Oxygen David's pretty good at that sort of thing. Maybe that's something he'll fix in the update he's got planned for the map that comes out in April or May time. He will be doing another update for this map, because he's going to be adding some new crop types to the map and some other bits and bobs, he says. I've seen him post. Which is great. I've also seen today Giants have posted a bit more information concerning the precision farming. The free DLC that comes out in April 19th. Some of the things new to the precision farming this year, specifically fertilizing. In precision farming this year, for this year's game, it's going to be able to adjust and apply the right amount of fertilizer for the right type of crop and soil conditions. Okay, which obviously it did in FS19. However, in FS22 you have to set the crop. You have to actually set what crop type you are fertilizing before you start fertilizing. So it's a setting on the actual sprayer. You will set your crop type, so it will know what crop you are trying to fertilize. It will do the work, then work out based on the soil type how much fertilizer to apply. But also it will be able to adjust the rate now depending on the speed of the sprayer. So it will actually adjust the spraying rate based on the speed of the sprayer. Because again, in FS19, what people found, especially if you used modded sprayers, which had obviously variable speeds, some, sprayers with cheaty speeds, some with, some, not even cheaty speeds, but, you used a mod like the Big Brute, the Black Sheep Modding's Big Brute Welker Farms sprayer. That thing could spray at like 35 kilometers an hour, compared to like one of the normal in-game sprayers that only does 12 kilometers an hour. It was obviously quite different there, because your spraying rate and spraying type was done at a fixed amount. So basically what you read from that is, if you were driving a sprayer that drove fast, you would more than likely fertilize incorrectly, because you wouldn't be applying the correct amount of stuff. You'd be going too fast. And the sprayer wouldn't have enough time to apply the right amount of fertilizer, nor would it be able to react to the changes in soil type fast enough. So if you had a field which had different types of soil, it couldn't react fast enough to the changes. So again, you would end up spraying incorrectly in places. In FS22, that's not going to be a problem anymore, because apparently Giants have changed it so that now sprayer speed is taken into account and factored into the variable spraying rate of the precision farming mod. So regardless of what speed you drive at, precision farming will adjust correctly how much it needs to apply and how much it's applying. It'll also detect the soil, using from the soil map. When you go across different soil types, it will detect that and adjust that a lot faster as well, so you don't end up, you know, mis-spraying or mis-seeding. It sounds pretty good. And like I say, you've got the option to buy soil maps if you don't want to go out with your scout tool and do the soil sampling yourself. I just hope they make that quite expensive. Otherwise, I can see a lot of people not bothering to do the scouting and soil sampling. They'll just go, I'm just going to buy it. Click, done. Whereas I actually quite like the soil sampling aspect, and gathering the samples and then sending the samples off. So I'm looking forward to that coming out in a month's time. I am. Yeah, we're doing the mow again, ladies and gents. And we'll get a screenshot for the fumble nail. I'm having to rush a bit today to get a video recorded, because I was in the process of doing me titling and thumbnailing and scheduling on YouTube earlier. I thought I might as well get that done this morning, because I knew I was going to have to go out for my blood testing this afternoon, so I didn't want to get doing any engrossed in recording this morning. So I thought I'll do some thumbnailing and titling and scheduling and stuff of my YouTube channel. And I realised I've uploaded a couple of Calmsden videos twice, of duplicated videos. So whereas I thought I'd got videos for this coming weekend scheduled and that, they're just duplicated. I've uploaded like episode 20 like 3 times. So I need to get episodes 21, 22, 23, etc, etc, etc done and uploaded. And then I actually need to get some more recorded, because I don't have that many Calmsden episodes in the bank. I mean, I've got 4 How Baler on videos uploaded, ready to be scheduled and thumbnailed and everything. And I'll be recording a couple more episodes of that this week as well, probably tomorrow. I'll probably have a How Baler on day on Wednesday in real life, and get a few more 3 episodes of that recorded. 3 episodes of that is a week's content, of course, but because I'm now uploading Calmsden 4 times a week, I need to make sure I've got 4 Calmsden episodes recorded, and I've not done that. Yeah, I need to get a couple of episodes in the bag. I've not done any live streaming this week yet either. I didn't do any streaming Sunday, didn't do any Monday night. I don't know if I'm planning to live stream tonight or not. If I am, I'm probably not going to be playing Farm Sim. I'm very tempted to have a look at Motorsport Manager actually, because there's been a new mod release which is all the Formula 1 2022 teams, car models, statistics and stuff added to it. So it's effectively F1 Manager 2022, but in the old Motorsport Manager game. So I might be tempted to have a bit of a play of that tonight, as something a little bit different. I know Mr. Helgi, as I'm recording this episode of Calmsden Farm, he's on the multiplayer server now. I think he's online. I did check my server a little while ago and saw that somebody was logged in. But he wasn't it wasn't logged into Discord, so I couldn't tell if it was him or not. But I'm assuming it's Mr. Helgi, because he's normally the only person that plays. So hopefully he's getting lots of jobs done on the farm. Right, ladies and gents, we have got the mowing completed. I need to go get my tedder now. So all these lovely, nice, pretty windrows are going to get absolutely wrecked in a second. And I'll come back. Perhaps in an ideal world, what I should have done was had the Lamborghini doing the tedding. And then this fella could have done the... some bloody wheels. See, now it's going to jackknife on me because it thinks that's the way I want it to go. I would use the lock steering axles mod, but it causes issues when trying to log into multiplayer, so I've had to take it out of my my mod folder, and I haven't discovered an alternative one yet that works to lock the steering axles on tools and implements and trailers. If anybody knows of a lock steering axle mod that works, that doesn't break multiplayer, let me know, because I would love to download it. I would love to download it and have one that works. I'm going to use the front mower unit as the counterbalance to the tedder, rather than a front weight. I don't know if I've got a class front weight anymore. I might have sold my class front weight, you know. Because I figured the class, this is a 960, isn't it? 960, yeah. I figured this has got enough weight for what I'm doing and for the skinny little tools that I'm pulling around that I didn't really need. So here's hoping, like I say, that the tedder doesn't go scattering stuff too far and wide. And keeps everything kind of on the field. I mean, the windrow would get most of the stuff anyway still, but... hey, it is what it is. I know some people would actually use this setup to do the mowing. They would mow using the front-mounted mower, and then they'd have the tedder running behind them. So they'd be tedding the grass as they're mowing. Whilst I like that in principle, the problem I have with that kind of setup for me is the fact that the tedder's much wider than the mower. So you end up driving over the grass that you haven't cut a lot of the time, because all the front mounted mowers are quite narrow. They're only about 3.5 meters, I think, at most. I don't think there's any mowers that go on the front of a tractor that are, I mean, that's 2.4, 3.1. That goes on the rear. 3.1, 3.5, 3.6 for the clash. So yeah, 3.6 is about the widest one I've come across, and that's the class one, which I'm not using. No, if there was like a, you know, if there was like a 6 meter front mounted mower, then that would work. I would say that would be perfect. I could front mow and ted at the same time. Quite happy with that kind of setup. I just think having like an 8.7 meter tedder with a 3.5 meter mower is a bit ridiculous. and a bit pointless. But yeah, unfortunately we can't do any more mowing at the minute on our calendar. We will be able to in July though, so that's kind of why I wanted to get the mowing done today. Because obviously we're going to have barley and canola to harvest in July. And they're two big fields, field 6 and field 3. And then we're going to have the sorghum obviously as well. It's going to pop up at some time to be harvested as well. We'll also have the straw to collect off the barley field. Or is it oats? What am I growing? I can't remember. It's oats and canola. Oats. Because oats makes more flour than barley. Which is great for the productions. Like I say, all the wheat are harvested. That's for chicken food. The corn that we harvest later in the year on field 23, that will be for sale. That will actually be for sale. I was also thinking about maybe the possibility, again, because silage tended to be quite good value, good money at the end of the year. I was wondering if maybe forage harvesting would be a good strategy. If we can get a corn harvest each year after we've done our initial mowing, although that's going to be very dependent on harvesting. We're only going to be able to do that if we harvest wheat, you see. So that's the problem, you see. The other crops don't grow in time, do they? And then we lose the planting window in July for corn. So I won't necessarily want to do a corn planting every year unless I had more fields and could spare a field for corn planting. And then we could do a wheat harvest and then replace the wheat with corn straight away. Then we could forage harvest the corn field, and we could then make silage out of the forage, which would go quite a way to helping me make money, because then we can sell the silage from the forage harvesting to the BGA or wherever in the winter. Because that obviously made me quite a bit of money. The 232 silage bales I sold last winter made me a lot of money. And it would be very nice to have that income again at the end of the year. Speaking of silage bales, how many did I do? We've got 337, so I did 232, so I've done 105 bales this time. In my last session, I produced 105 silage bales, so not as many as first time round, because I didn't do all the fields with the baler. I didn't mow all the fields and bale every field like I did originally. But still, 105 bales, that's a lot of silage. Be able to get those picked up for too long. Mustn't forget though, I've got a fertiliser spray field 23. As soon as the crops emerges on that field, I've got to start spraying. Because we need to make sure the corn is properly fertilised. Again, it's because I direct drilled, you see, because I took the option to use the direct drill feature, I didn't bother cultivating, because what I would normally do is I would fertilise the field before I cultivate, then I would cultivate the field, then I would use a normal seeder, which doesn't have fertiliser built in. I would seed the field, and then I would spray after seeding. But because I used a direct drill seeder, which had fertiliser built in, I've kind of messed up my sequence of work. So I've got to wait for the crop to grow before I can fertilise it again. Because apparently running the roller over the field doesn't count as a texture change or a soil change or a pipe change or whatever. So the fertiliser isn't being registered at the minute, so not being correctly registered. That's something, you know, I must admit, again, getting back to Giants here, that is something I still think Giants should have addressed and fixed, perhaps, in FS22. The fact that you can't fertilise after seeding if you've used a direct drill seeder or you've used a seeder with that has fertiliser functionality. I think you should be able to fertilise after seeding to reach 100% fertiliser. Right, I'm going to go to the field I mowed first. And then now my Lambo will be able to do some baling. I'll increase the time scale a little bit because it's only 9:30. Nope, not that field. Keep going. So we'll get all of the lovely grass turn to hay. And then probably next video I'll bale it and pick it all up. Might as well bring you guys back for that. You've watched me do all this part of it. But I have to say at this time, ladies and gents, about 50 minutes into the video, that it's the end of the video. So I'm going to carry on, get the grass tedded now, and then I'll bring you guys back next episode. We'll bale all this grass, and then we'll collect the bales up, and we'll put them into storage or what have you. Yeah, we'll do that. Well, thank you for watching today's episode, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember to click that like button for me if you've not done so already. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you, again, aren't doing so already. Leave me your comments in the comment section down below. Share the video everywhere you can, with everyone you can. And I'll see you all very soon. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Stay safe. Goodbye.